previously recorded and re-uploaded for new viewers.
Now, the center channel speaker is the most important speaker in the system. All of the sound, maybe 80–85% of the movies that you watch are coming from this center speaker here. That's dialogue, anything that you can see in the front of the screen, it's all coming from this speaker. This is the speaker you do not want to skimp out on. Spend all your money towards the center channel and subs. That's what people will tell you. The center channel is a super important piece to get correct, and it's super important to calibrate it the right way too. I see a lot of comments and forums and reviews and such that say that, man, I have a center channel, but I just have trouble hearing the dialogue. I can't hear anything. I even had a comment not too long ago that said that I have to turn my volume up really loud to get the center channel to be heard, and then I gotta turn it down really quickly when the effects come. So today in this video, we're gonna talk about how to get the most out of your center channel speaker. And it doesn't matter what center channel you have. I'm gonna show you how, me personally, how do I dial in my center channel so that I get the easiest dialogue without having to turn it up and turn it back down and flip with the remote and all that stuff. I'm gonna show you guys how I like to do it in my home theater. Now, you may not agree with me that the center channel is the most important speaker, so I'm gonna show you why it is. What I've done is I put a movie up on the screen here and unplugged every speaker in the system except the center channel, and listen to how much dialogue and effects actually comes out of the speaker.
Outside, the cotton fields was even worse than I thought it would be. No one would give me a job, a food, or a place to sleep. The law was against us.
Man, 50 yards. 25 yards! 10 yards! Look out! Fight! Shit! Holy shit! Goddamn what? Oh! Shit! Jesus! We'll get down to this! Get out and move that traffic! Now what? What we doing?
Close this! Where are you? Close this! Talk to me,
Jake, you boss, man. We gotta get out of here. Doing, Jake! Follow, proceed!
Alright guys, so as you can see, there is a lot of information that comes from that center channel. It's not just dialogue or something like that. It's any ambient effects that you can visually see on front in that TV or your projector. It's going to be coming from that center channel. So it's very important to buy a center channel that works really well, that does very well, that covers a wide range of frequencies. And it's really important to dial it in correctly with the rest of your system, or you're going to be missing a lot of information. You're going to be turning the volume up and turning it back down, and it's going to ruin the experience for you. So what have I done to dial in my center channel? And I've done this with all my systems, and I will always do it with my systems. The first thing I like to do is, of course, run your calibration. Let the system decide what it thinks it should do. As far as levels go, as far as how loud each speaker is, I always go in and bump my center channel up maybe 2 or 3 more dBs. I like my center channel to come through easily. Ambient effects are cool, Dolby Atmos is cool, DTS:X, the subwoofers, all that stuff is really cool, but if you can't hear what the persons are saying on the screen, then you're missing just about all of the movie. So I like to go in and bump my center channel up maybe 2 or 3 decibels so that I have a little more volume coming out of this speaker than everything else. It's very distracting if your surrounds or your floor standards or your Atmos speakers are a lot louder than your center channel speaker. But it actually helps when your center channel speaker is a little bit louder than everything else. Because again, this is the most important speaker in the whole system, and most of the information is coming through this speaker. So you're gonna wanna turn it up just a little bit above everything else so that you have a good idea of what's going on and you're not missing anything, and you don't have to constantly turn the volume up or down when somebody's speaking versus when some action is happening on the screen. One of the most underrated and underappreciated points that I want to point out for you guys as far as getting your center channel to perform its best is angling it towards the listening position, that tweeter. It's very important for all speakers, especially your center channel and your front stage as in general, to point that tweeter up towards your ears. If you have your center channel underneath your TV, or underneath on a stand or something like this where mine's underneath my screen, make sure that you can get that center channel up to ear level. And if you can't, you want to angle it so that that sound is directed to your ears. You don't want that information to miss you. You want that to be as direct as possible. The whole front stage really should be ear level. If you can get all your speakers ear level, then that's definitely ideal. If you can't, you want to at least have them pointed towards your ear. Now, if you have your center channel behind a screen or you have it above a screen or a TV, you want to angle it downwards or keep it level with your ears so that any bit of information that comes from that screen or from that song is aimed directly towards your ears. If it's directed a little bit above you or below you, that information is going to miss. You're going to change the way your frequencies sound to you. You're going to have a little less treble. You just want to make it as ideal as possible. Give your center channel the best chance of reproducing what it's supposed to, so you don't have to turn the volume up when somebody's speaking and turn it back down when somebody's not. Angle your center channel upwards if it's down below like mine, or maybe if it's above, angle it downwards so that you guys can get a direct path from speaker to your ear. Nowadays, center channels are getting rather big. Mine's kind of in the middle. I've seen some really big center channels. I've seen some really small ones, but one common theme that I've seen on just about every center channel is ports. There's ports usually in the back. My center speaker has 2 ports on the back. So what does that mean? Center channels have a lot to deal with when it comes to a movie, for sure. There's gunfire, there's voices, female and male. If it's an animated movie, you may have a dragon or something with a low rumbly kind of voice. Your center channel has a lot of work ahead of it. And so people are putting ports on their speakers to help reinforce some of that bass out of usually a smaller speaker compared to maybe like a floor setting speaker or something like that. But what does that mean for your sound acoustically? Well, it means if you put that center channel against the wall, or you tuck it in a cabinet or a bookshelf or an entertainment center, you're going to be reinforcing those lower frequencies that are coming out of that port. And that could cause a lot of muddy sound, muffled sound, bloated sound that makes it really hard to hear and understand what's coming from the speaker. So for example, when I was a little bit younger, I used to have my center channel behind my TV or in some kind of entertainment center. And when somebody would talk, especially a male voice or something like that, it sounded really muffled and muddy. And it was really hard to understand what was coming out. I kept turning up the volume to try to hear what they were saying, and I could hear what they were saying, but it wasn't clear. When you move your center channel up, maybe if it's on like a bookcase or something, if you move it up so it's flat on the surface there, you restore a lot of clarity. If you have ports on the back and you move it off the wall a little bit, you restore some more clarity so that you take away some of that muddy factor and some of that muffledness, and voices become a little more clear and easier to hear. So you may not have to turn up the volume. You may just need to reposition your center channel so that when it is in use, those voices and those sound effects are coming clear to you so that it's not as difficult to hear. So pull your center channel a little bit away from the wall, or stuff the ports with port plugs or even a sock if you have one. And you can put acoustic panels behind it like I have to kind of keep those frequencies from, kind of just going everywhere, kind of try to tame it a little bit. That's what I like to do with my center channels. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go out and buy a new center channel, but if you're having trouble hearing your center channel speaker and you've done everything, you've put it on a power amplifier, you've calibrated it, you've turned it up a notch or two, you've done everything you can, you're still not getting sound, well, maybe you should look at your center channel. Maybe the center channel itself is just underperforming. Small center channels are not bad. You can get a small center channel that performs really well. You can get a big center channel that doesn't do any better than a small one. You want a good one is what the point is. Get a good center channel speaker. Don't skimp out on the center channel. Don't skimp out on the subwoofer. That's usually the general rule in the audio home theater world. Don't skimp out on those 2 speakers. Try not to skimp out on your front stage at all. Now I know we want a timbre match, meaning you want all your speakers to be from the same manufacturer and be from the same model. So if you upgrade your center channel, you may want to match that with some speakers from its left and its right as well. But if you can't, it's okay. Make sure your center channel has a lot of money thrown into it. Don't get a really nice TV and then get a bad system, or spend all your money on, the receiver or the amplifier, and then you have bad speakers that you're powering. You want to get good speakers. You want to get a good center channel. So when it comes time to watching that movie or listening to that song, that you have the best chance of hearing it the way that it was intended to be heard. So for me, I've always paid attention to center channels when I'm buying speakers because, again, it's the most important speaker in the room and it needs to be able to perform the duties that movies are calling for nowadays. That's gonna be it, guys. Kind of my little tidbit on how to get the most out of your center channel. If you are a super audio guru and you're handy with like graphic equalizers or going in your receiver and changing things, you may be able to boost or lower some frequencies to kind of help you get more out of your center channel. I won't dive into that because most of you guys don't want to get into that kind of thing, but if you are somebody who likes to mess with EQs and graphs and stuff, you can really calibrate your center channel to perform a little bit better, or maybe boost or lower frequencies that you don't want coming out of your speaker, or maybe there's too much information for that particular speaker that you want to kind of take away. You can really get into that kind of thing. So guys, leave me a comment down below and let me know, what center channel do you have in your system, and do you think it's performing well or is it underperforming? Let me know that down below in the comment section. Leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are not already. We will see you guys in the next video. K-Pace Guy out. Peace.